In this tutorial, we'll be creating YouTube thumbnails. This lesson highlights features in Pixlr such as stroke and background and blur, tools that you can use for a YouTube video in the future, or in our case, we're going to be using at the tops of our portfolios. Enjoy the tutorial. To begin, you're going to want to make sure your photo that you choose is something that jumps out. And you're going to do the erase technique that you have done before. If you do select or cut, you can do AI auto, which is a fast way to remove the background. Then you're going to do is image, canvas size, and you're going to want the standard 1920 by 1080, which is YouTube's high def size. And then you're going to want your layer unlocked so you can have it fit that size. Now notice my head is cut off on the top here, so I'm going to make sure that it reaches the top. I don't want it just sitting there, or maybe I want it to fit that. Okay, and then you're going to go to edit. Make sure you're clicked on the layer. Then you're going to go to edit, stroke, and you're going to increase the size of the stroke and maybe lower the opacity, but I don't think so. If you do outline only, this is what you get. Then hit apply. Now you're going to add a new layer, empty layer. So this empty layer you're going to paint with a color of your choice. So I'm going to go with some kind of an off green or brightish. I want green. And I'm going to put it behind it. As you can see here, I'm also going to move this over maybe a little bit, give myself some room for text. If instead of a solid color, I decide to use an image, I can do that as well. And in many cases, you're going to want to add a blur to it. Under Filter, Details, Blur. The idea here is you may want to change your image to be brighter. In this case, adjustment, brightness, contrast. Brighten it up so that you can see yourself a little bit better. Now we're going to add a text layer. And we're going to be selective in how we position it on the screen. And we're going to be choosy on what font we use and what colors we choose. Very popular, orange and red. But you don't want to cover the back and the important elements. So we need to reposition, reorganize a little bit. So now we want to make the text stand out. And currently you cannot do that, have an outline or such until you've rasterized, right? So what we want to do is we want to right click on the actual wording and rasterize the text. It is now uneditable. You can't retype, but it is now an image. You're going to go to filter, details. You can do auto outer glow. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, feather it out however you want, and apply. When looking for logos, I remind you to choose your color transparent search. So images, tools, transparent, in order to get something that has the transparency. And remember that you can also copy image address and under layer, add URL as from layer. Save you some steps. So the key thing to remember is if you do text, you have to rasterize it before adding your filter. And any object you also add, you would add your outer glow like such. And you can feather it out as much as you wish. Play around with this and the color. When you're done, remember to save your project into both ways. Be sure to name it a PXD first so that you can come back to your project at any time in full edit fashion. And again, remember to save it as a PNG to turn in or upload where it needs to go.